Hello and welcome to today's edition of Guide Review on DG. And earlier this week, I chanced on a thought-provoking quote shared by Eleanor Roosevelt that I thought of passing on to you. She said, "You can gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you can really look and stop to look fear in the face. You're able to say to yourself, I love through this horror, and I can take the next thing that comes along. Life can sometimes present us with the most challenging situations, but once we go through that, nothing looks challenging to us anymore. Remember, every diamond must face the high pressures and every gold bar must go through the heat. Simply put, keep on keeping on." Today on the show, I'll be engaging a gentleman to talk to us about everything related to road safety and delve a little into what the future looks like in terms of using solar-powered electric vehicles. We have this and more coming up on the show, so do not touch that channel. My name is Sharon Acquah, and I'll be your host today on Guide Review. Thanks for staying. Now, this week, reports on armed robbery cases have been so high. Did you perhaps witness any of them or even witness any robbery accident but couldn't help in any way due to something or one thing leading to another? I entreat you to share your thoughts with us on Facebook at Daily Guide Network with the hashtag Guide Review. We'll begin the show with a newspaper review as usual with our very own Alhaji Gomda, Chief News Editor of the Daily Guide newspaper. Hello, Alhaji.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
My pleasure.
You began your fast, I believe.
Yes.
How is that going? How is it treating you?
Well, the weather hasn't been too friendly. When the weather is on the high like that, you don't find it easy. But it's a religious demand. You have to carry on.
Anyway, I would say good luck.
Thank you.
On that. We are with you in spirit. I wish I could join you, but
that would have been good. That would have been good.
We are with you in spirit.
Yeah,
now,
that's fine.
We saw or we had an alleged assault of some demonstrators by some military personnel. The Ghana Armed Forces, the Director of Public Relations for the Ghana Armed Forces came out to release a press. And if I'm to read just an excerpt of what he said a reconnaissance team was dispatched to confirm the report, but they could not determine the intentions of the demonstrators.
Yeah.
On seeing the soldiers, the demonstrators who had no police permit to demonstrate became violent.
Yeah.
The reconnaissance team called for reinforcement, which came to stop the violent youth from causing any damage to military installations. It is worthy to note that the general public, where the demonstration was taking place, houses vital military installations of national security nature. The implications of any distraction in the area cannot be overemphasized. In order to restrain the demonstrators, reasonable force had to be applied to remove them. Thus, in the process, some of the demonstrators or persons got injured. It later came to light that some of the injured persons were journalists who were there to cover the event. Ghana Armed Forces seizes the opportunity to apologize to the journalists and all innocent persons who might have been affected by the troops' effort to clear the unruly demonstrators. Alhaji, why are we always resorting to violence whenever we want to make our cases heard by the authorities?
Yeah, this particular story you are referring to is about
the large demonstration.
A group of persons turning up around Burma camp. With a view to, in fact, they were demonstrating in that area. That is a security zone. The moment there is a scene like that developing, the military will definitely send a team, a recce team, a reconnaissance team to go and find out what is happening.
Yes.
When the team got there, they didn't actually know the intention of the group of people, you know. But then, before they could say jack, the demonstrators turned on them violently. I mean, they became violent. So the reconnaissance team had to call for reinforcement from within Burma camp. Now, soldiers came there, and in the bid to clear them, it became a bit rough. And some of the civilians who were taking part in it got injured. Among them, journalists. That is according to the press release issued by Colonel Kwashi, head of PR of the Ghana Armed Forces, for which they apologize. Yeah, because, I mean, when soldiers or law enforcement chaps go to such a scene, especially where those who are organizing the demonstration get violent, naturally a few injuries will be sustained. And that was what happened. Like the release added, it's a security zone with military installations. Now, if you don't stop those demonstrating, there is a possibility that they could turn their acts on their installations. And soldiers won't take kindly to such a thing. It's unfortunate. That is why when you want to go on demonstration, you should always go for police permit. Otherwise, I mean, there will be chaos if any group of people can decide at any time to go on demonstration. I mean, there is a procedure. Go for the permit, and then if the permit is given, sometimes due to one or two reasons, the police wouldn't want to give you the permit. And if you insist, they can go to court and then give reasons why they cannot permit you to go on demonstration. Sometimes there could be equally serious issues they are attending to. And then when there is a shortage of personnel to really maybe police you, give you the backing that you need, protect you as you march along. If that is not there, then your flanks would be open to dangers, which the police wouldn't want to happen.
It's quite unfortunate that some journalists also got involved.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the hazards of the profession. I mean, journalists go to war fronts, they go to danger zones, and when anything happens to them, it's one of the hazards of the profession.
Service to the country, I believe.
Yes, indeed. It's unfortunate, for which the military have apologized accordingly.
They have. Now, still on matters of security, Accra Day, we know we had some robbery incidences there, and it was quite an eyesore. I think about 3 reports in a week. I don't know what's happening in Takoradi, but whatever it is, I think the security needs to be beefed up. So there was a robbery incident of a man. He was killed. I think his wife also sustained injuries. Yes, at the market circle, and the police went on a raid. They actually gunned down one of the robbers, and a report written by you, of course, Alhaji Gomda and Emmanuel Opoku, said the police have gunned down a suspect in the last Monday Takoradi Market Circle daylight robbery during a gunfight with the suspects in their hideout. The intelligence-based operation involved senior police officers from Accra and Takoradi. When the police squad descended on the robbers' hideout in Elmina, along the Cape Coast Takoradi Road in the central region, they found a tortoise, a talisman, a live and spent rounds of AK-47 rifle, and arrested one suspect. According to a police source, at about 8 p.m. last Wednesday, the Western Regional Crime Officers, together with the Divisional Crime Officers at Takoradi Division and Accra Regional CID operations, logged in on the hideout of the robbers. In the shootout which ensued, the police source added a certain suspect, Shankiki, aged about 30, was gunned down as 2 others escaped on a motorbike. So apparently they came all the way from Elmina to Takoradi Market. So it must have been a tip-off.
Perhaps so. They could have come from Elmina or elsewhere. I mean, robbers have a certain peculiar way of operation. They could come from other parts of the country, but maybe some of their colleagues are in Elmina. You see, the bottom line of this Takoradi thing is, like our editorial for tomorrow is on that. It's on the newfound love for motorbikes by armed robbers. Motorbikes are now the favorites of armed robbers because of the maneuverability of the gadgets. And, it offers them the speed to flee from crime scenes. That is why we are looking at the possibility of really regulating, the operations of Okadas. Now, what if we license them, special license for Okadas, after training them and then giving them the appropriate documentation, show that, these particular Okada riders have gone through the mill, have been trained on the use, on the observance of road signs and other traffic regulations and so on and so forth. But as it is now, there are many motorbikes in the system which are not registered. And anytime the police embark on operations to read the streets of these undesirable motorbikes, what happens is that they come under barrages of interferences. People call them. Look, last 2 weeks, there was an operation during which over 400 motorbikes were seized.
Yes.
Now, eventually, in fact, I met one chief inspector of police, and what he told me was that, look, if you come to their station, the number of motorbikes has dwindled because they had to release them under pressure.
From authorities?
People call them. Call them, this is so and so. Can you please release our motorbike, blah, blah. We are interfering so much in the work of the police, and it makes it very difficult for them to operate.
Yes.
Now, some of these motorbike owners are criminals, and some of them are unregistered. Some have fake registered numbers. Let's go back to the Takoradi issue. Another issue there is that it is very important for we members of the public to cooperate with the police, give them information.
Yeah.
Now, after the robbery operation at Market Circle in Takoradi, during which a 61-year-old Ghanaian living in Switzerland had come to the country to inspect his building project, lost his life.
Yes.
It's so pathetic.
So sad.
His wife is in hospital. She was lucky to survive it. Now, there was intelligence report that the robbers were in a hideout on the Elmina-Takoradi road, Elmina-Kipus road. So they went there with men from Accra and Takoradi.
Yeah.
They descended on the place.
Yes.
Fortunately for them, the robbers were there. As usual, motorbikes helped them. 2 of them mounted a motorbike and sped, leaving behind one motorbike and a certain man who has been picked up for questioning. We hope that he will give important information to the police. And strangely, a tortoise was found there and a talisman. Perhaps they were charms. And then an empty shell of AK-47 bullet, and then a live round of AK-47 too. Where do they get this live ammunitions to buy? Where do they get the AK-47s to use in robberies? It's
a big question. Nobody can find answers to that. I think that something needs to be done about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Away from that, let's look at the invasion of foreigners, foreign beggars, let me put it that way, on our streets, especially in Accra and I think Kumasi.
Yeah, Kumasi, yeah.
Why isn't someone doing something about it? Especially when you use the ring road.
Yeah.
You see most of them there.
And East Legon.
At East Legon, airport there.
Yeah.
We see them. What is happening in the country? They are deforming the beauty of the capital.
Let's look at why they come here. Most of them are from Niger. And Niger is a Boko Haram infested area of West Africa.
They're always fleeing.
So some of them are fleeing from the dangers posed by Boko Haram, one. And then some of them come to the country around this time, dry season, no farming activities. When the rains set in, some of them will go back. But I think we have to look particularly at the women and kids.
And the children.
There are these women who send out their kids to beg. When you get to Shiashi, they come by your car. They have small dusters. They try to clean your car for you. I mean, in a way, telling you, give them some coins and so on and so forth. Now, they pose a danger to motorists. Sometimes accidents could happen. Some of them could just cross the path of a moving vehicle, and that could be terrible. And then apart from that, you see, there is a certain element of national security issue in there, because we don't know who these people are. They come from areas which are in a way conflict zones, areas which are infested by Boko Haram insurgents. Are they part of it?
Nobody knows.
Can't Boko Haram elements use them as a decoy and come into the country? Well, sometimes you pity the government because these are ECOWAS citizens. They have a certain authority to come to our country and stay for a certain period of time, but not to beg anyway. But you see, when you come out openly to round them up and send them back to the border, a certain picture will be created,
about
of
the country.
anti-ECOWAS protocols.
Knowing that the president is
and when our officials go for top-level ECOWAS meetings, they could be queried verbally, and it's embarrassing. When it comes to going to vote for ABC at that level, and your country is looking for a certain position and needs the vote of Niger and Nigeria and so on and so forth, you could be punished because, well, your country, you are doing ABC to our citizens in your country and so on and so forth.
But you're not taking care of them.
It's a delicate issue. It's a delicate issue which government cannot come out outright the way we are seeing it. Look, we are rounding them up, and it has to be handled subtly. Yeah, subtly.
Alhaji, are you sure about this?
It's not easy. It's a difficult thing.
Oh, God.
It's a difficult thing.
At this moment, I think I feel for the president. Since
we
he's
have to find
chairman
a way.
of the ECOWAS.
That is it. That is it. Maybe we have to stop them at the border. Can we? To stop them from coming? Well, the borders are porous. They can come in. It's a difficult issue.
Wow. Security.
But I know in Lagos, they've managed to control the number of beggars in the streets in Lagos, yes.
Why can't we do the same
thing? Maybe we should try out something. Honorable Henry Quarter is trying out something, but I don't know how he can deal with it.
We are hoping that we get him on the show, or somebody from his camp on the show to explain what things are out there to us. Anyway, thank you so much, Alhaji, for coming this morning and for your contributions as well. Alhaji Gomda is the chief news editor of the Daily Guide newspaper, and he joined me to go through some topical issues. The increasing number of road accidents recorded in the first quarter this year alone is a major problem that we all need to look into. We have discussions on that coming up shortly. Please stay.